Okay, no doubt you're wondering what happened to number 8. Well, I just did 2 examples on how to do something that looked like number 8, and so I feel like you're in good hands there. If you can do number 6 and 7, you ought to be able to do number 8 okay. Now, number 9, they were asking us basically to plot all those points, and the part 2 says, does it appear to follow a linear trend? Well, if you graph those decently, yeah, they do line up. So, and then part 3 says, find a linear equation that relates Lorraine's weekly test scores to the amount of time she studies per day X. So express numbers as integers or simplified fractions. So they don't want any decimals here. So they're asking us to pick 2 ordered pairs from the observed data and find an equation of the line through the points. Now I'm sure you might have something a little bit different, but I'm going to choose the points 60, 67, and 70, 72. Okay, so remember how we need the M and we need the B. And they really didn't tell us exactly how to find the line in slope-intercept form. Look, you just found 2 different ways to do this, and so you need to pick the way that you like the best. I just happen to like this method best. So I'm going to do 72 minus 67 over 70 minus 60. So 72 minus 67 is 5 over 10. So that's going to be 1/2. Remember, they asked us to keep our answer as a fraction. Okay, I'm going to use that order pair. So that means my x is 60 and my y is 67. So y equals mx plus b. My y was 67. My m was 1/2. My x is 60 plus b. So 67 equals half of 60 is 30 plus b. Let's subtract 30 from both sides. So 37 equals b. So my equation is y equals 1/2 x plus 37. Okay, the next part, part 4, says how many minutes would Lorraine study per day in order to score at least a 90 on her weekly examination. Would an equation used to determine the time Lorraine needs to study get 90% work for other students? Why or why not? So it says, according to the linear model, Lorraine would have to study at least how many minutes per day in order to receive at least a 90 on her weekly exam. So remember that 90 was our output, so it would have to be greater than or equal to, so 1/2 x plus 37 is greater than or equal to 90. Okay, so I'm going to subtract this 37 from both sides. So I have 1/2 x equals 53. Alright, so next we need to multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of that 1/2. And so I have x, is greater than or equal to 106. Okay, so according to the linear model, Lorraine would have to study at least 106 minutes per day in order to receive at least 90% on her weekly exam. So again, this data was unique to Lorraine. If Lorraine is only able to spend a half an hour a day studying her math, predict your test score for that week. Alright, so let's go ahead this time, substitute the 30 in for x. So y equals half of 30 is 15 plus 37. So y is 52. You know what? Probably needs to step it up a bit, study a little bit more than half an hour. So, all right. So I hope that was helpful.